Hello. This is LOCKBEARD Random Live number 80. What? Had a little hiccup there with the intro. What's up, Mr. Lee and Troy? Welcome. See if this thing's going to work. It doesn't. It's not acting like it's going to work for a while today. Whatever. Troy says, "Arg." Mr. Lee says, "It's hot as hell here." Yeah, it's hot here too. It's supposed to be, oh, it was 99. I think it was supposed to get to 100. But I don't know if it actually hit 100. It's supposed to be coming down now, about 98. But it doesn't seem to. Man, this computer is working slow, or the internet's working slow. Mr. Lee, seen this over there. There we go. Trying to get these chat messages to pop up, but they're taking forever after I click them. Is that what 23 Celsius is, Troy? Because 73 is, boy, I wish it was 73. Ruthless is here. Welcome. He's in the middle of winter down there. $114 in Arizona. Yeah, you got it's drier over there though, so it's that you don't feel it as easily or as badly, or however you want to put it. Ruthless, maybe the whole thing net's glitching. I don't know. I'm sure it's sure glitchy here. At least StreamYard is. Sandra Piper's here. Welcome. Gary Johnson's here. He says 3-inch A's, whatever that is. Oh, it's no beard. Oops, I mean Mr. Lockbeard. Welcome, Gary. Troy says, "So what was the verdict on the PAE skull?" Well, being was what it was. Ruthless says, "Yes, it's cold as fuck." Gary. Mr. Lee says, "Where's Jeff?" Jeff, his show is at 9, isn't it? Didn't he move his show later? I know Texas coming on any moment now, but anyone that wants to watch me probably, well, not everybody, but a lot of people would not want to watch Tex if they're watching me. So Daily Dan's here, says greetings from South Carolina. Ape. Yeah. You got your letters a little bit out of order. It's not a real skull at all. I mean, there's no reason. Why would he use a real skull? You know, for 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 an obvious reenactment. It was well, not even a reenactment. It's a what do you call it when you dramatization? A dramatization of the finding of a primate skull. It wasn't. It was never. There was never anything real about. Now, when he put it on Facebook, yeah, he didn't. He posted it as it was stated as if it was real. It was like a War of the World situation. The whole damn thing is fake, but a lot of people, there was nothing there to really indicate to people that it was fake. And so some people bought into it. Apparently, I haven't checked. I can't stand watching 5 seconds of vault of nonsense. But apparently, he thinks it's legit or some shit. Vault, you're embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing yourself, dude. The dude said in the video it's a dramatization. He didn't use that word. I can't remember how he actually worded it. We played it on Saturday. He said it was fake. He said it was fake. So what more do you need at this point? Um, it's plastic. Yeah, it's plastic, Mr. Lee. It is plastic. Donald's here. Donald's the one, or I think Donald was one of them. That told me uh, the vault was saying it over there. Daily Dan says Lockbeard is a legend. You swine, respect the beard of knowledge, or else. Salty bastards. Mr. Lee says text no. Yeah, you got your fill of text, did you? I imagine there'll be more. You know, because you go over there and it's fucking woo, man, and just bullshit. Riza says I'll be back in a little bit. Donald says, howdy to Sandra and Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee says, fake as fuck. That's what you call it, man. It was clickbait then. Yeah, the Facebook message was straight up clickbait. Um, but I blame the viewers to anyone that fell for it. Like, if you didn't go to his YouTube channel and actually look at some of the stuff on his YouTube channel, it's your own damn fault. It is like I said on Saturday. It's just like Peter Kane. Peter Kane's obviously a comedian. However, if you only watch certain videos, there are some of his videos that if you watch it and you're someone that really wants to believe some shit, you might actually believe he's serious about his Bigfoot stuff. But if you watch enough of his Bigfoot videos and you start seeing the ones that are obviously a joke, like the one where he's drinking milk out of a Bigfoot titty and crying, then you know the whole damn thing is a joke. It's all comedy. Mr. Lee says Vault's too ugly to watch. Dan says Vault of bullshit. Fill in the blanks. Oh my god. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm told. I'm told he actually thinks that that's a real skull. It's a almost, if he took an actual, which how would he get an actual gorilla skull? There's questions to be asked there. But if he took an actual gorilla skull and buried it in the mud in the forest, he's a dumbass. No, that's a reproduction skull. It's a reproduction gorilla skull, you know, and Dan says, wow, you finally found a channel even I wouldn't watch. Vault of bullshit. Yeah. Donald says, did he actually say it was legit? I didn't say he was saying it was. I said, I bet he will claim Israel. Oh, okay, gotcha. Someone said that he thought it was real. I can't remember who. I thought it was you. Troy says, hello, that's funny. Then the guy who was uh, yeah, that's Peter Kane. Peter Kane with his stuff. Gary says, "Don't you think most researchers won't tell about the woo stuff for fear of being hashtag? Hashtag what? What do you mean by hashtag? Um, if they people who want to tell stories about woo, there's plenty of websites and YouTube channels and Facebook pages they can go to that will eat that shit up. But then, hopefully, if that person actually wants to live in the world of reality and facts, and logic, and reason, and science, and you know, find out what's real, then they'll end up on different different websites and different channels on YouTube and different Facebook pages. Um, if a person calls themselves a researcher and they're buying into all the woo crap, well, they're not a researcher. They're full of shit about that. Probably most people that would think of themselves as a researcher who actually have a scientific mind about them is doesn't have any woo to tell, or very little that they can't explain. At this point, like people say, well, you shouldn't go balls deep on these people with the woo stories because we need people to tell their stories. And I call bullshit on that. We don't need any more stories. We got plenty of stories. What we need is evidence. Hey, stories are great. People tell your stories, but look, there's plenty of people willing to tell their story who aren't scared to tell their story. So that's all we need. We don't need to. We don't need. Hell, let those people keep quiet if they feel like they need to. They're if they're that afraid to tell their story, let's just leave them alone. Anyway, but the channels that want new guests, new content all the time. Oh, we need some new guests and we need new stories because the old stories are getting old. So they need content. They don't give a fuck. That's why Bullshit Odyssey had that dude having a fucking mental breakdown, you know, crying on camera. He shouldn't have had that guy on camera. If the guy is really traumatized like that, no, you don't put him on your damn show. Carrie Arnold. Fucking shit. Um, Mr. Lee says Peter Kane live show streams are brutal. He really cusses you, but his comedy Sasquatch stuff is like, yeah. As I would advise everybody, if you want to watch his comedy Sasquatch stuff, that's fine. You'll be fine. You're insulated because there's no chat. If you try to chat on his live streams, he's a complete asshole to like almost everybody. I don't know. It's hard to believe it's him, but it is. He's an asshole on his live stream. Angel says, "Welcome to the chat, Angels." Saying hello to everybody there. Daily Dan says, "Hey, Tex is cool. He looks like Charlie Daniels talking Bigfoot. Oh my god! And Bigfoot Michigan Rob is damn cool. I love to watch roll his eyes when that chick is remoting BS. The remote viewing chick. Also, Bigfoot Michigan Rob is not buying into the remote viewer chick who somehow conveniently can't prove that she can remote view. Awesome. All I know, Dan, is Tex has banned me. He can't stand up to scrutiny, so he's been filed over into the bullshit. Besides the fact that there's so much bullshit talked about over there. I mean, it's just nuts with crap. All you bearded squatchers, yeah. Hello, Ida Bustamante. There's Joe. Says, "Oh boy, what is going on here?" Hey, Joe dropped. I think he did. You didn't you have 2 uploads today? I think there was 2 uploads today. Mogian says, "Well, maybe need to tell their stories. Well, if they need to, they need to. They can, come on the, channels that they feel comfortable telling them on." I'm just saying these people that criticize people who are questioning crazy stories because we might scare away people telling their stories. I'm not buying that whole line. David Dan says, "I'm not a researcher for sure. I'm an investigator, more interesting." Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be too much of an ass about people calling themselves researchers when they probably aren't. Scientifically speaking. But I mean, still. But when they're going completely woo on you, and it's just like, this is just ridiculous. These claims that are being made. Jumping to conclusions about shit that they just don't. They don't have anything. They don't have any facts to draw conclusions from. So I don't know. So yeah, welcome. I think they'll say welcome to Ida, Joe, and Mokes. Mr. Lee says, "How are we going to get the evidence?" Athena Lockbeard, what? Well, yeah, we've got plenty of people running around in the woods with cameras and recorders, and you know, it's going to take. I mean, because clearly something's up here. Something's up with these forest people. They're wise to our technology. I know a lot of people think they're still kind of animalistic and primitive, um, but I have a suspicion. It's nothing more than a suspicion that they are far more wise to our technology and what we are and what they are in the big picture of things, and um, potentially smarter than us. They're able to avoid us this well for a reason. It's not just elusiveness. Although that's a big part of it, because there's a lot of animals that are very elusive. Um, but still, so it's going to take a technology, I think, Mr. Lee. Technology that no amount, because, like, I don't know. I think the government has plenty of evidence already. They just don't share it with us. When you can see, you know, people in images taken from satellites, they got the evidence. Um, I think drones may really be the part of the answer as far as getting camera evidence, photo and video evidence. But man, ultimately, like, if you're interested in proving their existence, you're going to have to find a body. Now, I think you can obtain a body without violating the rights of these people, because I do believe them to be people and deserving of all the rights of any other human being. Because, like I've said, I think they are the same species as us, not a separate species. Um, just because they look a little different doesn't mean they are another creature. I mean, there's plenty of different varieties of people on the planet that we're already familiar with. It's just none of them are really big and hairy ones, right? but there's no reason why there can't be. Chessboard says, hello, Lockbeard and everybody else. Welcome to the chat, Chessboard. See all the highs and hellos and whatnots. Mr. Lee says, Mogs, oh, how I have missed you. Mr. Lee, aren't you going on Mogs tomorrow night? Your debut co-hosting and telling your woo stories. Mr. Lee says, Joe, I enjoyed your camping videos with Molly and Sally. Yep. If y'all haven't checked that out, Joe's uploaded some videos. like 2 hours, I think, or an hour and a half to 2 hours, somewhere in there. Daily Dan says, oh, come on, I get blocked way more than you do. I got a foul fucking mouth. It's very possible. It's very possible. I think I'm pretty tame, really, but you know, Angel says hi to Joe. Camping videos are much better now. Joe says one yesterday and one today, both were re-uploads. Had to take them down and fix them. Sandra says, it's funny how everyone says Ida Bustamante full name because we love the sound of her name. Yeah, I don't even know if that's the correct pronunciation. Donald says she can remote view stories that have already been told and put her little twist on them. I asked her to do mine, but it takes too much out of her to do it. Likely excuse, yeah. Did you get banned? You could have got yourself banned asking a question like that, Donald. Trying to make her actually prove her bullshit. Hey, I'm all for if remote viewing is real, that'd be awesome. But I'm still waiting for someone to prove it. And it's just funny how no one seems to be able to prove it. Daily Dan says, I may investigate it, I may talk about, I may even state their views, points, and beliefs. That don't mean I'm a mark. I'm always skeptical about everything. I've been married 3 times. I have trust issues. Yeah, Mr. Lee says, I know if someone puts a camera in my face, I go mad. Same as Sasquatch. It's rude. Angel says, Don Fuller probably has someone look it up and tell her what happened. Could be. Mr. Hughes here. Welcome. Donald says, I was impressed with Life as a Trackway, hitting on some crucial parts of my second experience. Dan's a glutton for punishment, says Mr. Lee. Oh, the thing chat just flashed on me again. Gary says, well, when strange, I assume you mean there, things happen, that they come about and won't rely that it's the woo. So that's why they won't really tell the truth, but say strange things like, dude, deciphering this is I think we get the gist of what you're saying there, but man, this is hard to decipher here as it is. Sorry, man. It just is. Joe says porcupines are pretty elusive. I never saw one in the wild until our ADK trip, and I'm 58 years old. So, given that tidbit of info, what are the chances I'm going to see a Sasquatch every time I'm out? So, I'd say it's extremely low. You know, the vast majority of people never see one. And the ones that do see one that seem legit, people like you and Jay, you know, your story isn't full of a bunch of crazy shit. You know, you guys have seen them once. But then you got people say, oh, I see them all the time. And then you got to ask yourself, okay, does this person see them all the time, or is this person full of shit, or is the person? Think about, because brought up Ben T the other day and his stuff. He says these Sasquatch are out there watching him all the time, and he's had multiple experiences. And now he's saying that you and Coles have called him a liar, and then cut that part out of your live stream video to cover up the fact that you did it. I'm starting to wonder if Ben T is like got paranoid delusions. Like, he's sticking to his guns. He replied to my comment again. He said something. What did he say? Be nice to Joe and Steve. I'm not going to be mean to Joe and Steve based on what someone who sounds like they're full of complete shit is saying. I'm sorry, Ben T, but anyone can go back and watch, and anyone that was there that night watching knows that the claims that you are making about Joe and Steve are bullshit. Absolute bullshit. So I don't know why you're sticking to this crazy story, unless you really are like you have a psychological problem. You're delusional or something. Ben T, for those that don't know, go watch the last. Humans can. Why can't Sasquatch? There's people, tribesmen, who live in areas near the sea that can scale the straight trunk of a coconut tree, of a palm tree. And you look at the feet of those people. You know how we talk about the mid tarsal break, and there's this whole thing. Damn it. There are a lot of humans that have the midfoot flexion too. This is not some kind of the hard line between us and them. It just isn't. But people just jumped all over it because it sounds cool, sounds technical, sounds like we're intelligent here. Whatever. Donald says, the stories I've heard her do were already known to the Bigfoot community. She added on to them. The remote viewer over on Texas channel. I haven't been over there to see, because I don't watch Texas channel. Not anymore. Daily Dan says, I had rotten luck with women. Wife 1 went nuts and wound up in the loony bin. Wife 2 died in 2005. Wife 3 vanished without a trace. Holy shit, dude. Yeah, at some point you just kind of just stop getting married, I think. Perhaps you're cursed. Perhaps you are the curse. Mr. Yu says there is the 3-in-1, the 3-1 guy chessboard. Hi. 3-1 guy. What's that mean? Mr. Lee says, Joe, that brick of cards you had. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they probably got wet. They probably got. I don't know about that wax. I don't know if the wax could have gotten too hot, like she was saying. But if it got wet, definitely turn into a brick. Seen that happen. More patience, I would have thrown them in the fire. Yeah, I would have too. Just throw them in the fire. Would have saved you plain old maid or whatever. Well-oiled machine. That mom's here. Welcome. No Wizard of Oz. If only I had a brain, says Chessboard. Daily Dan says, hey, Mogs, I do a live stream now every Saturday night. 13 o'clock live with Daily Dan. 13 o'clock. So you mean like 1 in the afternoon? Is it gonna be a regular show you're doing? Maybe I should put on the paranormal live stream, TV guide. Be familiar. Mr. Lee says, Lockbird, we did hear Gary once live. I would like to hear more of his stuff. I can't understand why, Mr. Lee. I'm sorry. Gary's claims are so completely ridiculous. Yeah. Ida says, Joe, I was thinking same thing. Throw the cards in the fire already. Isn't Ben the one with the sexy voice? Did Ben have a sexy voice? I don't know. Ben T? All I know is I've heard enough from him. After the claims he made, and then you can clearly see those claims are bullshit. Yeah, I'm done. Daily Dan says, on my premiere show, I had over 30 people come in. Check out the title, Stone Cold Steve Austin Tells His Bigfoot Story. It was a blast. Mogion says, meh. Gary says, when Bigfoot did that famous thing at me where he talked at the end of it, like, do you think he said we can be friends? What in the hell does that sentence mean? That's not even... Come on, Gary. Type a complete sentence, a properly constructed complete sentence, because one, this here, nobody knows what you're talking about, that famous thing. Just say it. Just say it. I know you're talking about mind speak. Just say it. I mean, I would prefer you called it what it is, telepathy, but Moke says Ben's voice is okay. Mr. Hughes says, squeak along the yellow brick road chessboard only if I had a heart. Joe says, I've only seen one true, but since I have seen one, if someone says they have Sasquatch watching them all the time, I will consider it a possibility, but I'm going to have a lot of questions for them. Yeah. And well, at the time he was telling the story, it's like, well, it seems he's pushing the believability factor for me, but then he made those claims about you and calls and then shot that all to shit. Shot it all to shit. Now I don't believe anything he fucking says. I can't believe anything he fucking says. So you know how they talk about the mid tarsal break, Mr. Lee, in the Bigfoot prints? That, like the foot can the flex at the point between where your toes are and your ankle is. Does that make sense? You don't? I thought you were familiar with that. Batmom says Ben's voice sounds like he's intelligent. Well, Donald says Ben does say they are always watching him when he's at whatever place he goes. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, all I know is that these claims he's making about Joe and Steve now, using a voice, what do they call it, the voice print analyzer on him, and then calling him a liar on the live stream, and then editing that part out for which everyone, I mean, there's just no evidence of this whatsoever, and I don't remember that happening for damn sure. But I went back and watched anyway. I don't see any place where there could be a cut. Nothing. Steve Calls wasn't even on the show when Ben T was on the show. Steve Calls dropped in for 5 minutes in the early half of the story. Ben came on in the last half of the live stream. Ben only talked to Joe and Jay Fritz. but he's claiming he talked to Steve Coles, and that Coles and Joe lied or called him a liar, and then he claimed that they cut that part out of the show entirely. Completely ridiculous bullshit claim. So I don't buy. So he's established himself as a liar to me, and so I don't believe his Bigfoot stories at all. He's just he's either just a liar or he's got paranoid delusions, man. Because this is all delusional shit. Um, got your curse swinging. Mid South Sasquatch has many encounters. Mr. Hugh, it's hard when you're among a ragtag bunch of misfits. Batmon says, I have no clue what's going on. This is a strange show to come into with no context. Well, you ever watch jumping spiders? And they tilt their head at you? Kind of like a dog. They look at you like, what? What are you looking at, human? You ever handled jumping spiders? They're pretty cool. Anyway, we were not really talking about that. It's just I needed a thumbnail. Everything else is just coming from what people are talking about or asking about or whatever. Mr. Lee says, Dan, I'm not trying to be funny, but did you greet your lady every morning with greetings from South Carolina? That would kill any relationship, dude, just saying. Dan says 1 a.m. late show. Well, that'd be, man, late show. Guess it's a regular show every Saturday night, sometimes with a guest. Awesome. Like, what's the what are you calling it? Does the show have a specific name? Did I miss it? Um, like like I don't know. Is it on the Daily Dan's Good Stuff channel? And then does the show have a name? Like the Mogollon Monster channel has WTF Live, the show WTF Live. Some people, the show name is the same as their channel name, but others they're different, which is especially useful if you're going to have different shows on the same channel. That mom says Gary is speaking more English than he used to. Well, we need to get him trained up right. Props to Gary. Daily Dan says no, but at night when we're heading to bed, I say blog over. Mr. Hugh says the witch will sort it out. Chessboard. I only ask for a brain. Did you see Toto? What are you guys acting out the Wizard of Oz? That is why then. Jay Fritz, welcome. Welcome to the chat. Knucklehead. Which one, the north or the south? Which? Jen's here. Welcome. Toto's taking a bath. There goes that chat jumping again. Donald says to Joe, do you remember when this show was that Ben T came on? I gave the link in the chat on Saturday. Ben gave the link to me. It's in the comments under LOCKBEARD on LOCKBEARD Random Live episode 77. and that's in a comment. Ben T commented with the link to the show where he came on the show. Nikki's here. Welcome. She says, "Wait, who? Ben T? Yes, it was Ben T. Talked about it on Saturday. Uh, it's crazy. It's crazy." Joe says, "Wow, my last goal is complete. I am the center of a controversy. Imagined though it may be." Yeah, you sure are. You have. It is claimed that you are engaged in some kind of cover up. I don't know why. The initial claim don't make any sense. Everybody that watches you knows that just straight up calling people liars on your show does not fucking happen. I mean, not a person that's actually on your show anyway. You maybe said like someone outside like that you would never have on anyway, but not even in a mean way. I don't know. It's just not something you would do is sit there and just call your guest a liar. Yeah. Me? I don't know. Um, but all the shows are still up. Yeah. I mean, I can grab the link again. Um, might take a second here. Oh, woo! You thought it was the other one? Jay says, "What did I do now?" Well, nothing really. Knees feeling better? Yeah, I hope your knees feeling better, Nikki. Staying off that knee. Good for thanks for asking, says Jen. Mr. Lee says, whoops, thing chat jumped on me again. Mr. Lee says, I feel bad Ben T not here to defend himself though. Don't seem right really. I mean he can come. I'm just the only reason look, if why did he even say that? It's like it's any well, did he? And I told him I was going to address it on the live stream. I said, "Look, this is ridiculous here. You're making claims about Joe and Steve that are clearly not true. You're claiming you talked to Steve Coles. You did not talk. Now maybe he's confused. Maybe he talked to Steve Coles somewhere else and got it cross wired in his head. The Joe show. I don't know, but you go back and rewatch that show. At no point was he on screen with Steve Coles at all. So I really don't care if he's here to defend himself or not. He made some untrue claims about a couple of guys, and I'm gonna call out the bullshit where I see it, man. Nicky says, "Is BDP really you?" Hey Jay, yeah, welcome to the chat, Jay. Daily Dan says 13 o'clock live with Daily Dan every Saturday night at 1 a.m. on the Daily Dan blog. Is that 1 a.m. Eastern time? South Carolina time? Need to bring any cooking stuff? Jay, I heard you. You may have grilled dozens of burgers for 4th of July whilst butt ass naked. Are you going to perform the same service at the Moog's camp out? Daily Dan says, if Beard actually watched my videos, he would have got that joke. Which joke? I don't know. Donald says, hey, Jay Fritz, your Facebook infiltrator got butthurt when I called him a scammer. Jay brings a credit card and a checkbook. Donald says, okay, I'll look. Oh, so you don't remember? Were you not there that night? I don't remember if you were, Donald. Batmom says, I feel like we go in circles. I get motion sickness. All the above. Joe is in a cover up, yeah. Bullies now. No, he wasn't talking about you. He said Steve Coles. Angel says, Donald, it was like 2 months ago, 22 hours, 33 minutes. I didn't have time to rewatch today. Was it that long ago? Let me get the link. Hold on. I didn't know. Doesn't seem like it was that far back, but it may have been. Okay. Yeah, he says that he gave me this link. He says it's at the tail end of the show. If you watch the tail end of the show, he's never talking to Steve Coles. Yeah, it was April 27th. April 27th. I'm going to put that link in the chat. And of course, the chat jumped again. Nikki says he's made a lot of claims. He's a guy that lives in Minnesota, right? I don't recall where he. That sounds about right, but I'm not sure. Mean Joe Green, Nikki, sexy voice guy. Why? Are you sure you think he's a sexy voice guy? We're talking about Ben T here. 1 p.m. or 1 a.m. Eastern time, says Dan. Donald says, I wonder why Ben T isn't around anymore. I was battling the buffering bad on that show. I missed you posting it. Yeah. Let me see here. Jen said
early in the morning or especially later towards dark because there's.
Oh, now that thing comes on. I might as well share it since I got it pulled up. Everything is moving so slow. Yeah. Surely, hopefully that rings some bells. Well, is it going to pop up or not? There it goes. Hopefully that rings some bells. Getting confused with all the bins. Yeah. Yeah, not that bin. Not that bin, Jen. Ben T. Hold on. That bin. That bin right there. Ben T. Getting confused with all the bins. Nikki says Batmom Ben BPD 1776 is the deep voice guy. Ben T is the one with Bigfoots all over in Minnesota. Yeah. This guy right here. Hold on a second. Right. Chill.
I don't want to script it because I wouldn't want someone to screw mine up either. Right.
Yeah. Yep. So, anyway, don't get your bins confused. Oh, why is that? I gotta shut that down. It's gonna bog me down. Mr. Lee says, Jen, yes, BDP 1976 is from Louisiana. He's cool. Yeah, but I think Mr. Lee, people were getting confused which bin we're talking about. We are not talking about this bin. We're not talking about this bin right here. We're talking about bin T. Joe says, anyone who wants to see what is true, just follow Lockbeard's link and watch the show he's on. I don't edit any live shows ever. It is the way it was recorded. Yeah. And yeah, the comments he's made under my video number, Lockbird Random Live number 77 is where a lot of these comments were made. And they're still there. So I don't know if he may go in and delete them at some point. But y'all saw them all on screen on Saturday. So even if he deletes them, they're on record here. Because we've seen that happen before, all right? There are people delete stuff so they can hide what they're up to. LIB. Yeah. I guess that's your sexy voice guy at Batmom. That's not the guy we're talking about, though. 1776, I think it may be. Be glad it's not bend over. The Ben who asks a lot of questions in dark skin. Nikki says, remember, it's open carry in Arizona. My husband is coming now. Jay better be fully clothed. Yeah. Well, but like you said, it's open carry. Why can't Jay openly drag his weapon around? Jay says, somebody lied to you, Lockbeard. I only swim naked at late night in my own little world, kind of like when I was a kid. Batmom says, oh man, I'm just going to block all bins from now on. Seems safe. That was the link you posted the other night. Yeah, it's the same. Yeah. Posted it again. So since I don't know, I didn't expect it to come up tonight, but it did. Jay Fritz says, nowhere, Nick. You too cold up there. Winky bee in my belly. What the? Whatever you said sounds bad. Whatever you just said sounds bad. Going in my corner. Say no more then. No, do carry on, Jay. Put your thumbs away. Yeah. The way he talks, he's being watched by them all the time. I'm straight on which bin, says Jim. Okay, just making sure. Life says here, however, My attention is split with love, death, and robots. Huh? That's kind of confusing. But welcome to the chat. Donald says, I always feel like Sasquatch is watching me and I have no privacy. Somebody grossed out that mom. Joe says the sexy voice Ben is the bald guy that had been on Moog's show, and he has made no accusations against me. Yeah, to be clear, I don't know. I mean, I think I've said Ben T every time I've said his name, but I think people just wish they were hearing about the other Ben. Mr. Lee says, Donald, that's what he said. The Ben man. That mom says, even Jay thinks Ben has a sexy voice. Jen says, so what? What are we talking about then, Locke? Well, nothing. Whatever people are bringing up, they brought up Ben and whatever other stuff. You know, I had a jumping spider sitting. Right, jumping spiders are cool, man. But they look at you like what? What are you looking at, human? Mr. Lee says, if you're talking about sexy voices, my voice is very sexy. Just saying. Which is why you need to jump on Moog's show tomorrow night. Yeah. That mom says, Jen, we are talking about Ben. She's keep up. The only thing my voice is sexy, Mogi. Joe says 21 people watching on 11 likes. What's up with that? Asking for a friend. Oh man, I'm surprised I don't get 22 dislikes. Gentle Ben the Bear. No, not that Ben. Jen says, hello, Pet Mom, getting tested over sexy voice guy. Yeah, I didn't know BPD was the sexy voice Ben or a Ben at all. I don't know. Apparently, there's just been this confusion every time I've said Ben T. I think I've always say Ben T, but for whatever reason, it's created some confusion, I guess. Hit it for Lockbeard. Got to walk the dog. All right, Dan. We'll see you later, hopefully. That mom says I can't handle any more sexiness. Mr. Lee says, wait, Moog's has a show tomorrow night? I thought it was tonight. Very confusing. How is this, Mr. Lee? This is Monday. I know you're 6 hours ahead of us, though. So where does that land you? Like right now, you are at 1 a.m. your time, right? So you are tomorrow already. We're not there yet. You got to remember, like, I'm 6 hours behind you. I'm talking to you from the past, from yesterday. So, but Moog's comes on. Moog's would still be coming on the next day for you, though. It would still be tomorrow for you, wouldn't it? Sexy Mr. Lee. Guess I have to leave then. What? No, you don't have to leave. give Mogs a backwash. Mr. Lee's gonna give Mogs a backwash? What the hell? Batmom says, Mogs, you don't have a show tonight? What the fuck? I was doing my hair just to come on. Is everyone like confused? Today is Monday. Mogs is on Tuesday. Mr. Lee apparently is already in the Tuesday, 1 a.m., I believe, in his world, but it's still tomorrow. It's still tomorrow, Mr. Lee, for you, because it'll be like 2 a.m. when Mogs comes on, I think, for you. Something like that. It might be Tuesday where you're at, but it's a Monday here. Well, if I'm in the past, you're in the past. As far as Mr. Lee's concerned. Don't confuse you any more than you are. It's 1:12 a.m., so technically Mogs is on tonight. No, because Mogs would be coming on at I think 2 a.m. your time Wednesday, but it'll be Tuesday where he's at. Now this time zone thing is going to get everybody confused all to hell. Jesper says, Mr. Lee, word on the street, you get a new prime minister. Yeah, well, they could hope. They need to get one that surrenders Great Britain to the Eternus Empire, and I'll save you all. That one says, "Oh, like we were having fun messing with you." Yeah, I think it's Thursday now. I don't know what day it is. Look, I lose track as it is. Y'all need you're gonna have me thinking it's the year 2080. Yeah, it shows on Wednesday and Friday for Mr. Lee. Yeah, at 2 a.m. I think. Gary says, and you thought I was done. No, I didn't say you were dumb. Say you had some serious mushrooms though. Jen says, Mr. Lee, go join Jay in the corner. Moog says, why am I catching shit? It's only Monday. I don't know. Who's giving you shit? I'm just trying to get Mr. Lee to get on the show. He needs to get on the damn show. Let's just Mr. Lee, you know it's going to happen eventually. You might as well just rip the scab off. Says Donald technically Moog show is on a Wednesday for me. That's what he just said, Mr. Lee. That's what he just said. Joe says, wow, for a second people almost had me convinced it was Tuesday, even though when I woke up this morning it was Monday. At this point it could be Wednesday, maybe Sunday, who knows. Judy's here, welcome. Mr. Lee's time to wear the dunce hat. Yeah. I guess I just said that in my comment to you. It says Donald. Mr. Lee says, Jay Fritz, you are watching me in my dunce hat. My girlfriend made me wear it. Monday suck. Yeah. Bite the bullet, Mr. Lee. Yep. It's Tuesday, says Mr. Lee. It could be a mass stream, Joe. I don't know. I'm kind of confused at this point. I'm not. What month is it? Life says, anyone else have ridiculously warm feet at the end of the day, or am I the only one? Just want to stick them in the freezer. If you're wearing boots all day in the summer heat, you might have overheated your foots. Make you laugh. Squashing Cowboys here. Welcome. Mike's all full of Gmail to clean up. Batmo says, Joe, I did just wake up from a nap. Maybe I didn't wake up. Maybe you didn't. Maybe this is all a nightmare. Joe says, I need something to smoke to figure this out. Is that going to help things? I don't know if that'll help. I just don't know. Stupid thing. There we go. Donald says to Joe, the same UFO that probed Tex came and got you. You have experienced lost time, and it's Tuesday. Squashy Cowboy says, Mogs, Mr. Lee says I sing better than you. I see. Mr. Lee, you're risking your co-host position on Moog's show talking like that. You might want to be careful. Chat just jumped on me again. Well, there's Michael Haywood. Welcome. Chessboard says, Cowboy, I second that. Joe says, it might help. Lockbeard certainly can't hurt. Set far to it. Still 1 hour shy. Purple M. You at least won't care what day it is. Might not help, but you won't care. That mom says, if there's lost time, Jessica can remote view it. I'm positive. Yep, I hope she tries. This dang chat just jumps and jumps and jumps. Moog says, put your money where your mouth is, cowboy. Challenge has been issued. It seems we have Vault Killer in the chat. Welcome. Batmom says a sing-off show, Mogs and Cowboy. Cowboy says Mr. Lee is deaf in one ear and can't hear out the other. that could probably be a little bit of a problem. Sing off. Yeah. Hey, I didn't say it. Mr. Lee did. Mr. Lee says, Walt Kelly, you seen the dog man then? I'm going to say there's a no on that, Mr. Lee. Cowboy here, he sings like Helen Keller with one hand. You talking about Mr. Lee? It's Haywood in the Woods. Raptor Crazy is here. Welcome. He says, hello, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good Monday. Everybody saying hello to Raptor. Life says, Love, Death, and Robots is an anthology show on Netflix. The Day of the Many Dead is awesome. Yeah, I don't have no Netflix, so I'm not familiar with any of that. Not familiar with any of that. Donald says to Vault Killer, what happened to the profile pic? Is there some kind of... Hold on. Scroll back here. Yeah, you don't have one, it don't look like. Gary says, to have this ghost behind me just staring like I should get a trillion A for not running away. Not sure what any of that means. Posted a link for Squatching Cowboys song there. Y'all should check out. Shirley says, Gary, so Sasquatch is a ghost then? Can you explain? I don't know. His story is just all over the place. Like there's ghosts with him, there's demons with him, there's all this stuff, and like he's talking as if Bigfoot is a one individual thing instead of an entire species. So, you know, your logically minded people out here are not going to buy into that. There has to be an entire population of these forest people. And if you don't buy into ghosts and demons and all that stuff, then you're just, it's just going to be hard for you to accept anything he says. Vault Killer says, I heard a dog man at night. They're mean sounding. Could just been a dog. Joe says, I'm just beginning to understand how to translate Gary Ease, and I have to tell you, I am finding it fascinating. Well, I wish he would speak proper English so we at least know for sure what he's saying. he's not going to answer. I mean, if he does, Mr. Lee, it's going to be some nonsensical shit that you can't even decipher the sentences he's typing to figure out what kind of crazy he's trying to tell you. So, yeah. That mom says Gary's sounding normal for a while, or he was sounding normal for a while. Donald says, strange, I can't see Voltkilla in the chat. Well, I mean, you know, again, who is Voltkilla, right? Who is Voltkilla? Could be an alternate identity of Vault or one of his buddies, for all we know, sent here to infiltrate, which means it might be someone who had you blocked and didn't think to unblock you. It might not be that case. It might just be that YouTube's doing YouTube stupid crap and you just happen to can't see Voltkilla. That mom says, what if he's speaking proper English, but we are speaking the wrong English? I don't buy that. Meredith says, Lockbeard, hello, and everyone in chat. My kind of people, hope you are all well. Welcome to the chat, Meredith. Life says, I worked yesterday, so it's my Tuesday, I think. What day is it? At this point, who knows? Snow Mogs is on tomorrow night. Jeff should be on tonight. Joe says, Walt Killer, what makes you believe it was a dog man? Mr. Lee, look, he's encountered the name Argo reading something in his life or something and thought that name was just cool for some reason. So now it's worked its way into his Sasquatch delusion. What he describes has got to be some kind of hallucination or a delusion or a dream, or he was on just some really good drugs, or maybe he's just making it up and he's just here to get attention for some reason. I don't know, but the story is so nonsensical it can't be true. Can't be true. It's just that nuts. So I don't know what his deal is. There are dozens of woo channels out there that will eat this shit up. Why is he on the channels that try to keep shit real? I mean, he can hang around all he wants, but he's kind of, if he's looking for his wild ramblings to be accepted by the chat, he's in the wrong chat. That mom says, Donald, I thought you were Vault. No, Donald ain't Vault. Hope you're doing great. Raptor says, so is Gary from over the pond like Mr. Lee or no? I don't know where Gary's at exactly. You know who Voltkilla is? Are you sure? I mean, Donald says, can someone ask at Voltkiller blocked me? I mean, ultimately, we don't. How do we know for sure who this guy is? You don't think so? The location that Raptor Crazy is not in Great Britain or somewhere in Europe or Gary. Sorry. Sandra says, I'm glad they made it. Yeah. You think it's her? Vault Killa unlocked Donald. Vault Keeper knows me in real life. He scams. Gary says, when this ghost was staring at me, I noticed it has the same facial traits as Bigfoot. This is what I'll only tell. Yeah, see, you stop in the middle of a thought there, and the way you word things isn't quite right. What's your actual language? What's your first language? English can't possibly be your first language. What's your first language? You need to get your English better, because it's hard to understand anything you're saying a lot of the time. But what little we can make out sounds so ridiculously nuts. It's just I can't even. I can't even. Dang it, chat jumped again. Wednesday morning, though, just saying. David Lee. Who's David Lee? Meredith says, Donald, initially, just world of the rest crazy. People like me, I can't keep up with all the names. Maybe it's Patty. Cowboy says, I'm giving Francesca a t-shirt for her best comment on that video. She had the best comment on the video. Let's see what it is. Or maybe we can. What? Okay. Where is she at? Lloyd Northern says you need more cowbell. There's Francesca. She says, hey, Joe, sure love your humor and pseudo fiddle playing. Then there's your singing voice. Well, let's just say. And then there's your singing voice. Was it that one or one of the replies? Probably that one. Did okay, Joe. Trying to get a hip replacement schedule. It's like running a marathon to do so. No pun intended. If you're asking, hope your family is finished with all the health issues in the recent past. Yep. Get the. Come on. Everything is working so slow. Well, come on. Yeah, so bogged down. This is nuts. Well, yeah, that's the best I can do. Meredith says, Sandra, my sweetheart, hope you're feeling better day by day. Joe, roll some rhododendron leaves. Yeah, who knows where Gary's at? Everything's so disjointed, like even his response to people when they try to talk to him. Like half time it seems like he doesn't respond. Because I think because he doesn't understand, or could be a hacker messing with the channel. Never know, says Raptor. What, with my channel? I hope not. Gary says, no, Mr. Lee, the AAA are my... The AAA is your sign in to these blogs. I don't know. Joe says, still like Gary, though, even though I find it extremely hard to understand where he is coming from. Meredith says, well, the chat didn't jump on me. Meredith says, Judy, my lovely, beautiful woman, how are you? Mr. Lee says, Gary, I don't understand, man. And now he's going to come off with some stuff. Oh, you know, it's like, this is... When you see them, you understand. You're not... He's got privileged information over you, Mr. Lee. He's very special. Jay says, I'm craving chili mac even as hot as it is outside. You're in trouble now, then. Get your English better. Yeah, I imagine people actually in England are probably like, oh, look who's talking, you fucking Americans. Sitting over there butchering our language. Y'all can't, like, we say the word aluminum. Y'all say aluminium. It's almost like a child trying to pronounce the words. So, yeah, maybe we should defer to Mr. Lee on what English actually is. Y'all are a hoot. Van Halen. Sanders says, yes, Joe, we all know Gary's story. Jeez Louise, he is in the family. Instead of being right, just be kind. Yeah, but he floods the freaking chat with the same stuff over and over again. And again, need some evidence. Mr. Lee wants a free t-shirt. You don't get a free t-shirt until you show up on Moog's show. Donald says David Lee is the other guy calling Vault John Rambo besides me. Yeah, but I'm not... I don't know. I don't hang out in his chats. I can't stand... The guy is painful to watch. It's so ridiculous. So I don't know. I don't know who David Lee is. I don't hang out in those chats. Certainly don't have time to be lurking in his chats. You have one, Mr. Lee, says Quartz Cowboy. Mr. Lee says, Donald, that is a compliment. John Rambo is wicked cool. Pennsylvania. Well, you talk like you're from another country. Meredith says, I used to have a huge crush on David Lee Roth. So I got a guy that looked like him, long ass hair. You should have seen the looks we got in his F-350. I was practically on his lap. Two blondes with long hair. Oh boy. Take the free things. Where are the hillbillies at, Mr. Lee? What hillbillies? What hillbillies you talking about? You talking about that? That's Joe's video, man. Hillbillies be fiddling. Donald says Mr. Lee Bolt thought it to be an insult because he allegedly balder than John. He's allegedly badder than John Rambo. Dang, I about butchered that. Meredith says they looked like two girls. Mr. Lee, Oklahoma. The hillbilly? Yeah, there's hillbillies in Oklahoma. There's hillbillies in some other places too, man. There's hillbillies up in Pennsylvania. There's hillbillies um, down in Florida. Although, you know, a lot of areas, the best hill they can hope for is a sand dune. But there's hillbillies in many places. Jay says, I just watched one of Valt's vids. He walked in the woods, maybe 30 yards, ran into a spider web, cursing immediately, ran out. He's so brave. Oh, man. When you go in the woods and there's spider webs, you keep a stick and you just, do a circle, like that in front of you to get the spider web out of your way. Pretty simple fix. Meredith says, Judy, he still wants me, and the other moron too. I'm all set with ex-boyfriend. That's why there's X. Aluminium, yes, which is absolutely the appropriate way to say it, Mr. Lee. Aluminium, but Americans say aluminum. So whatever. Gary says, to 3PO, I don't want to steal Lockbeard thunder. He can't handle the truth, as you can see. You can't handle the truth. Gary, any actual evidence you can provide? Because the story is pretty unbelievable. Pretty unbelievable. Joe says, what if Gary is really the only sane one among us? Huh? I got you there, didn't I? Well, if Gary is the only sane one among us, we are all in deep shit. Mr. Lee says, Gary, you can show Lockbeard the truth. Yeah, you could try. Squash Cowboy says, more like Transylvania. Joe, I believe it. Joe says, there's hillbillies here in New York. Yep. There's hillbillies. Hillbillies are in many places. Many places. Miss Lee says, Lockbeard has like one like. Better hit it, knuckleheads. Probably get more dislikes than likes, but whatever. Donald says, at this point, I watch it for the comedy and the idiots that suck up his bullshit like it's the gospel. Yeah, man, it is nuts that people actually buy into his nonsense, and that they sit there and the way he threatens people, they're like, do they ever think like, what's this? This dude really wants to act like he's Billy Badass over here, and he's going to kill everybody that disagrees with him. Do they ever think about that? They like seeing this guy make all these threats. He has to act like he's all badass because his cock is like, yeah. Michael says, if you're going to play in Texas, you got to have a fiddle in the band. Yep. That mom says, Jay, the bravest person would scream and run. Spiders are big, and they like to sneak up on your ass. I don't know. Never ran from a spider. Actually kept them for pets and coexist with them. Like for years, there were fiddlebacks all in my stuff, and those are, dangerous to people and poisonous, but I never had a problem. If I was ever bitten, maybe I just don't react to the venom. That's a possibility because I never got bitten that I'm aware of. But I was always finding fiddlebacks in my stuff, so for many years there. And I've kept pet tarantulas and like I was saying earlier, it was a jumping spider hanging out. There's usually, if I look hard enough, usually there's a jumping spider hanging out around here somewhere in the van. Because I always got the windows open and bugs fly in, and the jumping spiders will jump on them. Because that's what they do. And you can handle them. You can handle jumping. I mean, you don't want to grab it like that. You want to kind of encourage him to scoot onto your hand, and he won't bite you. He'll try and jump off though. They know that there's something. As soon as they jump on, a lot of times they'll jump off because they know, okay, this is someplace I shouldn't be. But they're not dangerous. And those orb weavers in the woods and stuff, and those big garden spiders, like they're not real dangerous. Just take your stick because a lot of times they're across your path, so you gotta take your stick and just kind of wrap it around, get the webs out of the way. And a lot of times the spiders will end up on your stick, but sometimes they fall off. And then if you get too much web on there, you can just go grab another little stick along your way. It's really easy to deal with. I don't know why anyone would run from them. They're not chasing you. Raptor says at Gary Johnson, I apologize. I thought they were talking about you, but they were talking about the Vault Killer dude. I don't see any of his comments at all. And yes, I know, didn't spell it right. Well, we were talking about both Vault Killer and Gary, but about different stuff. Hillbillies in Vermont. Yeah. Wait. Vault Killer says, I go on Moog's show, tell about Vault Keeper lies. Do you? Or is it, you're under a false name right now, but I wouldn't think Moogs would be interested in anything, because he don't want anything contentious on there. He tries to keep everything kind of neutral ground over there. It's hard when Vault shows up or Dark Sewage, people like that are just scumbags, and people can't stand them. Joe is the biggest hillbilly in New York. Batman says, "Go away, you're annoying boat killer." Oh man, the chat just jumped big time. Yeah, I don't know who it is, Mr. Lee. Judy says, "Did you all see where Steve H2H is leaving Canada for the States?" Oh man, stay in Canada, Steve. Stay in Canada. How to Hunt is, for those that didn't catch that, How to Hunt. Steve Ishtal. Batmom says, and you got more of a fascination with dicks than I did. Who? What? Joe says, I don't know if I'm the biggest hillbilly, Jay, but I hold my own. Leader of the pack hillbilly. Yeah, that's what I figured. Mogs don't want that kind of drama. But sneak on and do it anyway. Mr. Lee says, what do hillbillies do anyway? Mr. Lee. What don't hillbillies do? You probably don't have any hillbillies in Great Britain. You might, though. You might have some hillbillies. Look, hillbillies clearly have their roots in freaking Great Britain, man. That's for sure. Raptor says, I think it's a hacker. People can put like 100 different names on their YouTube channel and change it all the time. Yeah. Well, until they do anything actually bad. Moog says, I get you have an axe to grind. Joe says, spiderwebs turn me into Kung Fu Master. That mom says, Lockbeard, don't lie. Stop fronting, bro. Lie about what? Spiderwebs are cool. Yeah. Everybody was Kung Fu fighting. Moog says, yeah, Joe, if that Kung Fu Master were Jerry Lewis. Raptor says, wait a minute, I'm a hillbilly, and yes, I'm not the smartest person in the world, but if you crap on me, I'll leave you to die in the woods. Damn. Vault Killer says, Vault Keeper knows me in real life. None of you know me. I'll be at the LBL conference. Okay. Joe says the same thing as Rednecks, Mr. Lee, just with a different accent. Fast as lightning. Not Jerry Lewis. Gary says, there's no way I will toy with Bigfoot because of me knowing, and I won't give Lockbeard the satisfaction. Okay. Everybody was a little bit frightening, says Life. Batman says, okay, Vault Killer, glad you have a job and paid your own way. I'm probably missing something there. Meredith says, is it Leon? Let's play Who's Vault J. Batman says, Vault Killer, you still have a dick obsession you might want to get help with. What the hell? This I don't know about. Meredith says it's not me. Meredith, it's not me, says Mr. Lee. Has the key of C opened. Meredith says, is it Pat? It's a book of life that you're writing. You don't know? That mom needs brownies. Drug-free brownies. Why'd you have to clarify? I don't think anybody cares these days. Meredith says, Mr. Lee, I'm just throwing names out there. I know it's not for you. What's Ishtal coming here for? Maybe he's just saying he's coming here of his own free will, but he really got kicked out. So we're sick of you, buddy. Nikki says, oh, Batmom, my girl just made cinnamon swirl muffins. No fingers and toes. Batmom says, Nikki, that's messed up times 100. I feel betrayed unless you will mail me some. Jay says, I'm sure Ishtal will be welcomed with open arms. Yeah, and some of the Bigfoot community will definitely be happy to see him. Jen says, what's the shipping cost on the Nikki? They aren't mine to give. Batmom says, yeah, what Jen said, can you overnight them? Mr. Lee says he would give Steve Ishtal a hug. Why, Mr. Lee? I thought we were all in agreement that he just reads emails and doesn't vet the emails and reads all kinds of crazy stuff that doesn't make any sense. Doesn't seem logical. So he's not like providing something really useful, for sure. I mean, you don't have to, but it'd be nice. But it's just got so many people following his channel, they just want to hear stories, which I guess it's fine. But if they're believing the stories, that starts to create an issue. Canada is done for. Yeah, but so is America. He's going to get here and find out we're done for too. We're just on life support. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Batmom says, Nikki, why did you even say anything? I'm literally going to cry. Don't cry, Batmom. Batmom says, I needed to clarify because I don't like pot but love brownies. Yeah. Brownies are okay. I definitely don't care for. I mean, I've never used marijuana, but the smell bothers me. I know that. But so I guess I have very minimal interest in either one. This is what I'm saying. Joe says, I'm still waiting for Volkiller to tell me how he was sure it was a dog man she heard in the woods if it wasn't seen. Yeah. I mean, if you don't know, if you didn't see what made the noise, how do you know what made the noise? Vault Killer says, Squatch Talk speaks facts. Oh, now you're going to make people think you are Pat. Batmom says, it left my ass off. It is Pat. Mr. Lee says, besides the literacy, Steve Ishdahl is a good hunter, though. Just saying. Well, he should have stuck to hunting. He should have stuck to being a hunting guide. Vault Killer says, I'm not Pat. Petey? Hey, it could be Petey. It could be Petey the little dog. You think Batmom? No. Well, maybe. Raptor says it might be Pat's lady, and if she's smoking hot. Well, I'm sure he'll be glad you think so. Moke says, Nikki, bring some muffins to the camp out, please. Hell, bring the batter and, do some campfire muffins. And you can't put too much butter on well, anything. There's no such thing. The biggest plague. If I do eat toast, for example, it needs to be thoroughly saturated with melted real butter. That little bit they spread on there, it ain't gonna cut it. Like, just bring me a bowl of melted butter so I can dip it in there and soak up as much butter as I can. Donald says, Ishtal and Pilates will be on the conference circuit together, I bet. Pushing the massacre BS. You'll make them fresh. Yeah, campfire muffins. Jen says, Lockbeard, are you still using CBD? I use like 2 of those, bottles, so dropper bottles, 2 different brands. I don't think I noticed anything, so I'm not going to get any more. I don't think I noticed it doing it. I don't know what I really expected to get out of that. I just don't notice anything. It wasn't pleasant. Like, it had, like, one of them definitely tasted way worse than the other, but the one that was better still wasn't pleasant. I still didn't, I don't think it did anything. I'm sure it does something for some people, but I didn't notice anything. Moog says, I would love to get Lockbeard high. Oh no, you don't want that. Pretty sure I've gotten this far. I'm gonna write it out and never get high. Pretty sure it shouldn't be that hard. I have zero desire to try this stuff. I just, and the smell. I don't like the smell. Batman says I used Fico CBD jam, but I tried microdosing today. Saying that you, Moog, no, that would be a disaster, man. Would it be a disaster? Overnight them stat. Still trying to get muffins. Gary says, I'm a fan of Steve Ishtal. Yep, I sure am. And I sure am not surprised, Gary. Not surprised. I used to like listening to stuff, but it got old because it's after a while, it's just the same thing. He's just reading emails and he just buys into all the crazy stories. There's no proof of any of this stuff. He hasn't vetted anything. He hasn't checked it out. He has no evidence that any of these email stories are remotely true. Bat Mom says, oh, good Lord, I love butter. Yeah. Jen says, I use CBD for pain management. Bat Mom, how did the microdose go? Steve is great, says Meredith. Volt Killer says, good night, chat. Good night, Volt Killer. Hopefully we find out who you are one day. Mr. Lee says, good night, Volt Killer. Bell says, yeah, I use CBD for arthritis. So far, so good, Jen. But I feel like I might panic if I don't get brownies, like, soon. Oh, man. Don't panic, Bat Mom. Remember the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Joe says, Gary, stick with people who actually like you despite not understanding you. Ishtal would crap on, man, he's a complete idiot. Damn. Moog says, come on, Earl, let's smoke a fatty. No, Moogs, I can't do that. That'd be less for you. Batmom says, Night Vault. Nikki says, Batmom, DoorDash you some brownies. Or just make some. You can figure out how to make some good keto brownies. Like, if there was a way to make brownies 100% from animal products, well, you kind of have to use the chocolate. I get that. But replacing the flour, I don't know if dehydrated milk powder would work for a flour replacement. And then and whatever brownie you make, then heat it up and saturate it in butter. Peer pressure. It never worked on me. Never worked on me. Jen says, get you a brownie then. Yeah, get you a brownie. My hero, Mr. Hero, has great brownies. Son on the mission. Sometimes you got to send a boy. That mom, lard is better. Just saying. Well, it's better for certain things, but sometimes you want that butter. Like if you're having like some grilled shrimp and you want to dip them in some butter, you probably wouldn't want to dip them in lard. You might. Batman says, seriously, Lockbeard, do you vet the comments that you read? I'm seeing a bit of a comparison. Well, I mean, I'm not buying into everything everybody says. I mean, like Gary, obviously, and what Ben T was saying. I mean, had to tear into that because it wasn't true. That mom says, Nikki, you must be made of money because that's expensive. What's expensive? DoorDash? Butter tastes better, Mr. Lee, says Mogs. Mr. Lee, no, you didn't. You're a sharer. And that's another thing I never could, like, when I see, like, people sharing joints or even cigarettes, or I'm like, didn't you just see the other person put their mouth on that? Why do you want to put your mouth on that? Don't drink out of my cup. Like that right there is enough to make me not want to do any of that stuff. Joe will smoke a fatty with you, Mogs. I'm sure Mr. Lee might do it. Mr. Lee, like, maybe you guys can do a little thing, a little trick where you're passing it from you to him on screen tomorrow night when he comes on your show to co-host or at least visit. Fudge Stripe cookies. Too easy. Joe's too easy. Mr. Lee says, keto for life. Eat that lard. Batman says, Jen, right. They didn't follow my rules to become a contractor, doctor, dentist, and pharmacist, but making me some brownies will override my broken dreams. I figure there is some out there. Probably not carnivore, or, they probably still use a lot of plant products, but at least it's keto. Nikki says, well, my kids won't feed me, so I've DoorDashed 3 times this week and 1 pizza delivery. Yeah, it's funny, like pizza joints have been delivering forever, and now you gotta have DoorDash to get other stuff. You'd think other restaurants to figure out, sometimes people would like to have other shit delivered. Maybe you have a craving for a Big Mac and some chicken nuggets, but you don't want to leave the fucking house. Why doesn't McDonald's deliver? Pizza places were way ahead of the curve. Sticky icky, says Troy. Jay says Joe drove all the way to El Paso. Nikki, damn. Joe says, yeah, I know I'm easy modes. Don't know how else to be. Oops. Oh, I jumped ahead there. Donald says, yeah, dehydrated milk powder. I don't see that working as a sub for flour. Yeah, who knows? I've used it as a thickener, though. That mom says, I'm just talking shits with you, Lock. Gary says, typo again, Mr. Lee. Life says, damn, but the time Lockbeard catches up, it will be Saturday. I'm caught up, ain't I? I'm pretty close to caught up. That mom says, Lockbeard, I feel the same about crack pipes. Yeah, passing crack pipes. Yeah, I can't have people putting their mouths on something I'm going to put my mouth on. Mr. Lee says Mogs wants a blowback. Mr. Lee says, me and Tom Cruise sleeping in your tent, Mogs. Just saying. You sure do like to bring Tom Cruise with you a lot, Mr. Lee. Papa Craig says, who are we bad-mouthing today? Anyone fun? I don't know if any of them are fun. Welcome to the chat, Papa Craig. Raptor says, me. We're not bad-mouthing you, Raptor. The bad mom says, Papa Craig, it was you until you came in. Mr. Hughes says, only a chill move, Bat Mom. No crack here. It ruins lives. I love the green leaf. It's just chill and beats. I told you lately how beautiful you are. Mr. Lee says he's only joking. Jay says, I ordered pizza delivered to Lake Jackson fishing dock when I was bass fishing. Why not? And for that matter, they need to have a boat down there. The Pizza Hut or Mazzio's Pizza or whatever it is, delivery boat. So you can say, look, I'm on the fish out here. I'm out on the mud flats. I'm in a Ranger boat. It's green. It's got sparkles and shit. I need some pizza though. And they should bring that pizza to your boat in the middle of the fucking flats or wherever you are on the lake. But probably ought to tip them good. Please continue and tell Nana. Jen says, almond flour, I got a bag to try and make keto bread. 2 tries and not found one that works yet. I know people use almond flour as a substitute. I just kind of on the lookout for things that are animal based, because almond flour is obviously, there's problems with almonds. There's problems with almonds, and they're not good for you, despite what they've told you. Blah blah blah. But it's better than flour, obviously. Well, sort of. But so like when I cook some meat in the crock pot, the drippings, I'll mix some powdered milk with the drippings to try and thicken it up, so that I can kind of make gravy. Mitch Lee says, Tom Cruise will not leave me alone, Lockbeard. He is obsessed with me. Well, you might as well just give him what he wants, Mr. Lee. Pyromedics here. Welcome. He says, Mr. Lee smuggles Tom in his prison pouch. Judy says, Keanu Reeves for me, Mr. Lee. Chat jumped again. Papa says, hey, chessboard. Hi, chessboard. Those grandkids are supposed to bring me some more crappy. Exactly, Lockbeard. I'm not sure what. Oh, you mean about the pizza delivery thing? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's what you're talking about. This Lisa's Lockbeard is drinking full fat Coke, I bet. He's going to say it's just water. It is, Mr. Lee. Nothing has ever been in this cup but water. Yeah. Papa Craig, great. Are you still dancing with them? Life says, Ishtar, good hunter. Damn, about spit my water out my nose hearing that. Mr. Lee needs an intervention. I need something. Been watching you. Nikki says, oh, no way, Judy. Keanu is my boyfriend. Working up to it. Donald says, all we have is Domino's for pizza, overpriced garbage pizza. Well, anymore, I don't care for pizza. Like, I just want the toppings and not the tomato sauce. Like, the tomato sauce is just, it's too acidic or whatever. Just want the cheese and meat. The bread, it's like they took a crappy piece of bread that no one would ever eat ever, and then put a little bit of toppings on it to get you to eat it. I don't know what this bee is doing on my foot. Oh well. Just want something. Try to give me a message or something. You love intervening. When does it start? Keanu Reeves cat fight. I'm sure there won't be a cat fight. Was alright. Didn't go well. Had an intervention already. Sorry, Donald. Hey, there's Pine Island Research. You come on in 35 minutes, right? Just use cocaine if you run out of flour. Sitting here, Donald. No DoorDash, no good pizza. I can't blame for that, Nikki. Crap, Joe, what are we talking about? Life says, I can't stand Domino's pizza. Puss passage. Except for Philly cheesesteak, that's pure heaven. More of that available. Local Bones, welcome, Local Bones. It's a cup next to the water cup. Mr. Lee says, where is the evidence, Lockbeard? It's full fat Coke. Well, I don't know how to prove it to you other than you need to get on a plane and fly over here and look in the cup. Raptor says, wait a minute, I thought all the girls liked Johnny Depp after his catastrophe of legal battle. Well, I don't know, it wasn't that much of a catastrophe. He defeated her. He defeated the turd. Jay says, you guys and this keto thingy making me feel bad. Okay, I'll just eat 3 more cookies. Chesswork says, Donald, the pan pizza used to be okay, but since they cut back on the sauce and cheese, it now tastes like cardboard. Never again. Yeah, where's he been? Hopefully he tells us. He was on vacation. Yep. Says I've been on vacation, Mr. Lee. I'll be back next Monday. Oh, so you're not going to be on tonight? Jeff, you handsome devil. Sounding like a pregnant lady. How's that? Donald says, chessboard, I can get better pizza out of the freezer. Handsome devil. B is marking where to swarm. No. Hopefully not. There's better places to go. Joe says, Jay, don't worry about the keto stuff. You and me are too old to care about extending our lives with any diet. Oh, man, it could give you an extra 20 years. And you'll turn into a Greek god. Mr. Lee says, Uncle Bones, oh, how I've missed you. Got that right, Joe. Pheromones are everywhere. Jeff says, not on the night lock, so you can pull an all-nighter. Oh, no, I'm going to have to quit at some point because I get tired. Too tired. Gets too late. 3 more. Batman says, whoa, wait, what would be really expensive flour? That would be, yeah, the cocaine. Yeah. Chessboard says, Jay, is that keto shit food? Paramedic says, Subway makes a good supreme pizza, surprisingly. You can get those teens to pile on the toppings. Raptor says, don't eat a lot of butter, don't eat a lot of salt, and exercise, you'll be okay. Well, you got the exercise right. You can eat all the butter and salt you want. Butter is not unhealthy for you at all. It's a health food. Eating a stick of butter is healthier for you than eating a salad. Now I know that sounds strange to people, but you've been lied to about what humans are designed to eat. We're designed to thrive on fatty red meat. So butter, being animal fat, is healthy for you compared to a salad, which is full of a bunch of plants that you are not designed to eat at all. And you have all kinds of crazy shit for dressings and whatever else they put in a salad. And then salt, you absolutely must have salt. Like the whole idea that salt is a problem is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, Mr. Lee, will you deal with this? Mr. Hughes says, Mr. Haywood, I am coming to you like Jumanji Part 1. Run and keep running. Joe says, it ain't water, it ain't Coke, it's straight up bourbon, yo. The joke with Depp and Heard was an embarrassment, yeah. Old Buzzard. Raptor Crazy, no, Mr. Lee, yeah, deal with that, Mr. Lee. Jesus Christ. Like, Raptor, have you not heard my butter eating a stick of butter story? Grasshopper says, I'm late, of course, just got off work. Us West Coasters, can do a marathon then 24 hours. Oh, fuck that, Mr. Lee. Jeff says, paramedic, is that something new? I've never seen Subway with a pizza. Jeff says, Amber, the bed shitter, is saying there was a problem with one juror and is asking for a mistrial now. Oh, shit. Lady, you're batshit crazy. You shit the bed. Just take your licks. That mom says, I'm not comfortable with all this handsome devil and sexiness talk. What am I, blind? Mr. Haywood is here? Yeah, he's here. Paramedic says, have you heard that saying, don't make me Amber Heard you? Sexy man, bitch. Grasshoppers here. Welcome. He says, evening all use cray crypto weirdos. Paramedic says, Donald, they have had pizza here for 10 years. Uncle Bone, you just don't think, when you think Subway, you don't think pizza. You know, most people don't. Uncle Bone says, if that mom place a damp, cool rag over your neck, you will be fine. I just ate the butter and salt. You'll be fine. The problem comes when you eat carbs with any of that stuff. But so it's the carbs. Raptor says it, Bat Mom. Yeah, I gave you a heart one night. You said Raptor, who I can tell. Paramedic. Mr. Lee says, Paramedic, I called my girlfriend and Amber Heard the other day. Just joking. Oh my God, big argument. Papa says, what kind of disgusting thing would have to do Amber? What kind of disgusting thing would I have to do to Amber? Someone, Paramedic. Jeff says, Bones, she better put it somewhere else. Jay says, why not, Batmom? You're sexy, beautiful, gorgeous, adorable, smart woman. Troy says, is the gluten in plants, that is the killer? It's part of it. There's a lot of things in plants that are poisonous and anti-nutrients and just not food for humans. Life, says Bob Evans delivers. Must have salt. Yes, it's vital, peeps. Yes. Humans have traded in salt for thousands of years. After we stopped living exclusively along seashores for the most part, because there was a time where that was kind of our thing, unless we had salt. The salt is especially important for us compared to some animals because we were evolved partially along the seashore. We were very well designed for it, actually. Uncle Bone says, Pylon Research, yes, it is hot. Donald says, Paramedic must not be a thing here. They tried the breakfast stuff, but that failed. Troy says, everybody eat a damn stick of butter. Yeah. Well, don't eat butter if you're eating carbs. Don't eat it if you're eating carbs. You must get rid of the carbs. You cannot eat fucking carbs. You know, eating a stick of butter ain't gonna do you no good because the carbs turn all fat against you, basically. Because the carbs put you in fat storage mode. So if you're in fat storage mode, hormonally, any fat you eat is going to get stored. So you're just going to get fat. But it's the carbs that causes that. If you eat the fat by itself, that don't happen. You can actually lose weight eating a bunch of fat as long as there's no carbs. Paramedic says, Papa Craig, probably more than your head could take from Nana. Joe says, y'all are making me hungry. I'm going to have to go to Jay's and help him eat a whole cake. That one says, Raptor, I think you said you loved me, and I said thank you or something. Jay says, I had 4 eggs over medium and steak for breakfast. Is that good? That's extremely good. 10 rations of bacon, Mr. Lee says he has. Papa says, Troy, it's the carbs that convert the sugar to sugar easily. Plus a lot of small meals. Those a-holes have about killed me with their political food pyramid crap. Yeah, like I used to do the small meals thing, because it was a gym thing. They tell you, oh, you got to be constantly putting food. The reality is your gut needs to fucking rest. It needs to rest. And if you're constantly throwing food down your gullet, you're constantly spiking your blood sugar because you're probably eating carbs and stuff like that. So you're just it's like you're revving your car engine all the time, and then you wonder why it breaks. Well, the reality is you do not need to eat 5 little meals a day, 6 little meals a day. You don't need to eat 3 meals a day. Hell, you don't even need to eat every day. If you get off of carbs and you start intermittent fasting, which is just, fasting 16 hours out of a 24-hour period, and then you move it up and you get to where you're eating 1 meal a day, and pretty soon you'll start to see, if you're paying attention to what your body's telling you, you'll start to see hunger goes the fuck away because you're not eating poisons, and your body isn't, because if you always eat at 6 a.m., for example, even if you're not really hungry, your body will create a hunger response at that time in anticipation because it's used to doing it. Well, if you stop eating at 6 a.m., after a few weeks, you won't get that big hunger response. So fasting's good. Eating once a day is better than eating twice a day or 3 times a day or more. Uh, Fasting longer than one day is even better. Fights cancer and all kinds of shit. Bat Mom says, I'm eating mashed potatoes I made last night and with butter and salt while I wait for brownies. Yeah, you're carved out. Understandable. Eating cantaloupe. Mr. Lee says I fast for 18 hours. Sounds good to me. The Bat Mom J says, moan down, Joe. I bought a German chocolate cake today. The Polarin message. Lockbeard PK6WB. Not sure what that means, but welcome to the chat. Mr. Hughes says raw eggs every morning when I used to pump iron every morning, Mr. Lee. Them eggs will build just some muscle. It's room good chocolate cake with coconut. Yeah, I don't like coconut either, Jen. Yeah. Nikki says, Jay is great. Brought us chocolate cake. Why would you do that? Oh my God, why is she still with you, Mr. Lee? She forgave him. The Batmom says mashed potatoes isn't carbs, right? Because that's where I put the butter and salt. Hurry, someone lie to me. No, I can't lie to you. It's mashed potatoes is carbs. Joe says I love German chocolate cake. Jay, hold up, I'm starting the car. Jesper says, Mr. Yo used to pump water on Grandma's farm. Freaking exactly. Yeah, about the coconut. Yeah, can't stand coconut. You don't need carbs. The human body creates its own glucose, the exact amount you need, through a process called gluconeogenesis. And there's some other processes, but that's the main one. And so anyone that tells you that you need to eat carbs completely doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. You do not need to eat carbs at all, ever. You just don't. Mr. Lee says broccoli poison, corn poison, bananas poison, beans poisons, potato poison, and on and on. Do your research, peeps? Just saying. Yeah, very correct, Mr. Lee. You'd think people would figure it out, right? Like beans, like you eat beans, you about rupture your fucking ass out. Well, that's an indication you ate something you're not supposed to eat because shit ain't functioning right. You're not supposed to blow your ass out like that. I just ate but the coconut made it strange. Yeah, I'm screwed and fat. Well, you could always start on keto tomorrow. if that's a concern. Or just own it. I don't know. Some people like a little bit of meat on the bones. You know what I mean? Papa says you're fine, Batmom. Just worry about the bad drugs. Yeah. Mr. Lee says, Batmom, you need carbs because you eat them all the time. Yeah, the carbs create a hormonal response that makes you hungrier, so you'll eat more food. So that's why it's part of the reason why it's hard to get off carbs, because it's like an addictive drug. Batmom says I can do that, Papa. Life says I'm in shape since round is a shape. You're a good potato. Chessboard, says Mr. Hugh. Technically, I like the way you're thinking. Uncle One says, Batmom, you're just right. Keep doing what you do. Jay says, Mr. Lee, I fast in between eating. Couldn't resist. Mr. Lee says, Batmom, adjust. Try no carbs for 1 week. You will feel less hunger. Yeah. If you give it long enough, you'll feel less hunger. And the longer you do, the better you'll be. Like, especially if you go 100% carnivore, you get rid of all the plants, because the plants, like keto's good, but the problem is there's still plants involved, and you're bombarding your body with a bunch of plant toxins that you don't need. So your body's got to have more resources to deal with that. And but one step at a time, right? It's easier to jump into keto than it is to jump into carnivore for most people, because it's next level. That mom says, Uncle Bones, thank you. I wish I could carry you around all the time. You can whisper sweet things to me. Jeff says, Batmom, you're fat, not fat. Papa Craig says, Mr. Lee, I haven't been able to make it a week, but I'm getting better and better. Batmom says, Jeff, someone to me someone, I guess, said to you was thick when on them. I thought that word was bad. Huh? Kind of confused there. Jen says, Jeff with the 80s mic drop. Yeah. Damn it. There we go. Joe says, if I change my eating habits and get all healthy and shit, will Batman fall in love with me? Because if that isn't the payoff, I'm not interested. Jody, someone new, it looks like. Welcome. Says, fasted for months and still get hungry at 10:30 a.m. every day. Mr. Lee says, I had pasta last week. Oh my God. Fucked me up for 3 days, man. Jay says, you look fine, Batmom. Fall in love meter broke. Did you forget you're married? Girlfriend Lovely. Joe says, well, I guess I'm staying fat and stupid then. Batmom says, Lockbeard is a bad friend. You lie to your friends, dude. Mr. Hughes says, you picking on me to make a move? Well, I moved my pawn chessboard. Jeff says, is Joe flirting from the doghouse? That's your plan. Jen says, Batmom, I started keto because I will not buy bigger jeans. Well, I guess it'd save you money there. Uncle Bone says, Batmom, that would be great. I would stroke your hair and tell all the things you want to hear. Joe says, oh, I can't forget that the Batmom. Trust me. Batmom says, "Holy crap, Uncle Bones! That just went 8,800 times crazy." Moke says, "Well, aren't you the charmer, Uncle Bones?" Batmom says, "Whole new creepy factor, Uncle Bones." Batmom always be getting creeped out up in here. Mr. Lee says, "My doctor told me don't eat red meat." What a dickhead. Yeah, your doctor's a dumbass. If you followed that advice, you'd be back in there having him treat you for one disease or another. Smoldering embers. What'd you expect? Less predator vibes. You don't want to be hunted? Easy, UB2, remember your heart. Raptor says the Batmom, when they all saw you on Nikki's show, you're welcome. She was playing hard to get. You know what had to happen here. Donald Fuller says the Batmom, are you putting out some pheromones to the chat? Seems like you got some piling on you. Grasshopper says not sexy and won't bother trying to be. Used to be called a fox by the ladies. Batman says, Donald, don't even know, but I'm thinking about moving along to Netflix. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Moog says, are you sure they said Fox, Papa? Game Show Genius. Papa Craig says, Batmom, we were just discussing dropping Netflix. You know it, brother. Of course, you're dreaming. Stuff don't mean much in the long run. Batmom says, Papa, I don't watch TV, but maybe YouTube is getting out of hand. Perhaps. Mr. Lee says, Lockbeard has one like. I still, Mr. Lee, you probably need to refresh. There's probably more than that. Hold on, let me see here. I'm showing 18 over here, I think. Yeah, Nikki said it. Refresh, Mr. Lee. Mr. He says, Bones Chessboard will send you the 3-1 in the post. Just hold on, mate. Joe says, hell, we haven't even gotten around to saying how pretty Jen is. Your turn next, Jen. Yeah, y'all's guys are going to have to switch because Batmom just gets creeped out by you guys. Jen is beauty for sure. This is getting out of hand. Joe says you're welcome, Jen. Y'all need to get on over there to Squash and Cowboy channel and check out that music video. Grasshopper says, welcome to Hormonal Bigfooters chat. Yeah. Mr. Lee says, Netflix Stranger Things you must watch after Lockbeard, though. Yeah, I'm not getting on no Netflix, though, Mr. Lee. Jeff says, my female doctor looked at my blood work today and told me I need more vitamin D. I kept a straight face and said, I think you need more vitamin D, and she busted out laughing. Jay says all our big feet women are beautiful. Be running up that road. Cowboy singing better than Mogs. That's the rumor that you said, Mr. Lee. Uncle Bone says, about Mom, I do love you, not in a creepy way. You are so special. I hope you are not freaked in any way. I think she's calling up someone to get a restraining order. Mr. Lee says, only joking, Mogs. Jesper says, Jeff, can you interpret that for us? Yeah, Mogs, that was Cowboy singing. He's got a new music video on his channel. That Mom says, Uncle Bones, I'm only half creeped up. Out. Creeped up, huh? Jeff says, get a room, Bones. Yeah, maybe you can convince Cowboy to come on Moog's show and sing that song. You know, like all the talk shows, they'd have a band show up at the end and play a song. Yeah. No. Joe says, yep, I hate to leave all you wonderful folks, but with all this talk, I have to go eat a dozen eggs now and wash it down with 10 pounds of raw meat. Grr. Well, I was getting ready to quit anyway, getting tired. Thanks for coming, Joe. Uncle Bone says, Lockbeard, she does not have my address. Are you sure? Joe, yes, man, says Mr. Lee. Mr. Hughes says, stay safe all next time. Peace. Yeah, this has been real. Time to eat my brownies. Y'all have a good night. Papa Craig says, hey, Jeff, I got blood work today. Too low in iron, too high in blood sugar for too long, caused by my cholesterol medicine. I think, geez, yeah, cholesterol medicine is evil. When I was eating, low carb, keto, and then I ate a stick of real butter every day to prove to my coworkers. And I did it 2 years in a row. I did it for like 5 weeks, and then I did it for 3 weeks the second year. And then we got our blood work tested. My cholesterol actually went down a little bit eating a stick of butter every day at work. I did it at work, because I did it in front of them in the break room. So no one could say, oh, you didn't do this. And, there were people that were convinced I was going to die. I was going to get a heart attack. But my cholesterol actually went down a little bit. And I'm lifting weights and stuff like that. And
be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because subscribing makes you feel good.
Yep. Thank y'all for coming. I'm going to go ahead and wrap her up. If don't see anybody before, I'll see y'all in Moog's chat tomorrow night. Take it easy. Later.